Well, I do not know what was just happening there, but today's topic is all about sales. And listen, it does not have to be a four-letter word. It can actually be fun, it can be sexy, and it is the vehicle that you can use to deliver your program, your service, your offers. Come on, let's go. Welcome to Soul Mastery for the woman who desires to reclaim their creative voice for purpose, power, and profits. I'm Chaitali Desai, business and success mentor. And if you want to succeed in sales, there are a few key strategies to have in place. We're going to go over that just now, but I want you to understand that sales starts and ends here in your mind, in your belief system. So stay tuned because this is a really important training and I want you to take notes. I want you to succeed in your business. I want you to understand that sales really can be sexy. It is fun to own your space, your ability, your confidence, and to be able to present your offer, your products, your services confidently, standing in your power. And today I'm going to show you how, or teach you different strategies that you can implement to step into it. So, first things first, obviously, you have to know your product and your service inside and out. Don't wing it. So many salespeople don't fully, especially if they're working for somebody else, right? If you're an intrapreneur, oftentimes you don't know the inner workings of the offer. So if I'm coming to you as a potential client and you can't break it down for me, you've lost, because that shows a lack of confidence and obviously a lack of knowledge on what you're providing. Now, if you're an entrepreneur for yourself, you're working your own business, you probably are going to know your product inside and out, your offer inside and out. The key here for you will be detachment because it's yours. So emotionally, you'll be attached to it. And what can happen is you let your emotions get in front of your information, in front of your knowledge. So there's a fine balance there. And from an energetic standpoint, it is understanding the masculine and the feminine there. There's a flow to that. Your masculine is the knowing. Here are the practical tacticals. Here's the process. The feminine is that creative space of how you get to deliver your message, using your voice, the creativity to share what you created. But again, the key, if it is your own product, detachment is so important. And while it can be a little bit difficult because you're like, Chaitali, I put all my energy, all my passion, my love into this, I am committed to this. You can use that energy in terms of creativity. How can you describe it? How can you bring voice to your creativity? I think that's going to land for so many of you. So obviously, when customers, clients, potentials have questions, both sides, intrapreneur, entrepreneur, you can answer it wholeheartedly, confidently. Know what you're selling and have that sense of detachment so you don't get emotionally lost in what you're saying. And then, as we all know, you want to know your target audience. Who is your ideal customer, client? Who do you want to work with? Oftentimes, it's us when we started, right? Or us, they say, about 10 steps back. But is that true for you? Like, that's a belief that's out there, but I'm going to ask you, or I'm going to invite you to question it. Is that valid for yourself? Is that really the person you want to work with? If yes, awesome. If not, get creative. Who do you want to work with? You can look on the internet, you can look on the Instagram, the Facebook, threads, wherever you want. Are there mentors out there who you would love to work with? Don't put yourself in a small space by accepting or embracing that, oh, typically you'll work with people who are 10 steps behind you. That doesn't have to be true for you. It doesn't. It's a belief that was put out there that gets repeated enough times that we start to believe it, right? It's like any habit. And I'm going to be talking a lot about belief here, and I want to connect it for you because that's actually what's running the show. So we want to get an alignment. Again, that's a lot of energetics that we'll be going through here in this conversation today. But who do you actually want to work with? Is it who you were 10 steps ago, or is it who you're becoming 10 steps from now? So it's a question. And we've all heard it. Sales is about building relationships. It's about understanding that you're actually speaking with another human being. And a key here that I have found for myself is stop calling them prospects. They're freaking people. Call them Sally, call them Joe. Like create this avatar of the client that you want to work with. And when he or she shows up, stop calling them a prospect or a potential or someone you have to close. None of that speaks to building a relationship. And that is what sales is, me speaking to you, a real person with real intentions, not just to close you, but to see, am I actually a good fit for you? In my private practice, I've said no to people and I've sent them to somebody else. Why? Because we are not a good fit. And I can see that for myself. I can see that for them. I see this mentor would probably be better for them. And if you're listening and you're like, Chaitali, but this is about sales, I know. But that's integrity. That's being in energetic alignment, masculine and feminine. And I keep throwing a lot of things at you here, but these are all things that actually I used. And I'm going to talk about that for just now at the end of this training, because it's all principles and practices that I use to get myself from being really spammy, being like nauseated at the thought of sales, into setting myself into my authentic way of showing up. So back to building relationships. It's kind of what I'm doing here, right? Because I'm giving you the backstory of how I became confident and comfortable with sales versus how I used to be. And a key thing is understanding you are really talking with people. And I know on social media, it can be really hard sometimes to feel that connection because, we all hear the stories. Oh, these people, they're putting hate in they're like all these haters are out there. Yeah, I've been in online space for quite some time, and I have not fully ever stopped to think about the haters. Are they there? Sure. Do I care? No. Why? Because they're not the people I'm going to want to build a relationship with, so I don't put my focus there. You're building relationships. Who do you want to actually work with? And when you know who they are, actually spend time to get to know them. And this is a big one because oftentimes when we're nervous and not confident in sales, we just start word vomiting instead of asking questions because we're afraid that they're going to go somewhere else and they're not going to want to buy from you or work with you. Don't be afraid. Be confident in your skill set, in your product, in your abilities, your service, to ask questions. Hey, so why do you want to work with me? Or what's your goal? Or what is it that you desire? Or if it's a product, okay, well, we all know that I started in the shampoo business here in my most recent iteration, right? So one of my questions would be like, so tell me about your scalp. Tell me about your hair. What do they actually need? Because these are important questions. This is building rapport, building that relationship with a real person. And sales, guys, it's like a muscle, right? You have to be consistent. Show up, practice, get a buddy and you can actually, hey, let's kind of talk through some sales scenarios. I've done that before and I'll tell you, it was so helpful for me. And I know it was helpful for the people that I did it with because it puts you in different situations where on the spot, one, you get to remember you're talking to a real person, rapport, relationships, but it really will show you if there's spots in your knowledge that you could brush up on. Be consistent. And I know there's a lot of people out there who say, go for no. But you guys heard in last week's episode, or the last episode when we were talking about sales, go for the yes. Why not? If you're so busy focusing on going for no's, what do you think you're going to get? Right? Because your energy is looking for that. That seems to be the intention that you put into your system. I'm going to go for 10 no's. I'm going to go 20 no's, 25 no's, however many no's you want. But that's what you're focused on. So when do you think you're going to get a yes if you're focused on the no? So shift it. I'm inviting you to shift it with me. Focus on yes. Hmm. All right. Well, there's something going on with the Wi-Fi today, so hopefully you guys could hear that. And if you do get no's along the way, which you're going to, because hello, it happens, don't let it discourage you. And that goes back to taking your emotion out of it. So become detached here. If it's a yes, awesome. If it's a no, equally awesome. Because that means there's space for you for somebody else. And you've heard me talk a lot about belief, your mindset. That is the backbone of all of this. Because if your belief's not on board, meaning you don't actually believe in yourself, what you're selling, and then to step one step forward, believing in the actual product, service, or offer, can you see the disconnect? That in and of itself will create so much anxiousness, anxiety within you that when you come to your sales call or when you go to send that message, your energy is like frazzled and it doesn't know, there's no confidence in it that like, hey, here's what I have to give you and here are my points to answer your question. Let's do this. Instead, it's going to be like, oh my God, let's just do this. Hurry up, hurry up. And you word vomit and you run. Have you ever done that? Because I've mentored many clients who used to be that way. They're like, I get so nervous, so I just throw it out there and then I walk away. All you did right there was throw out like frazzled energy that they felt first, and then they read your words. Energy will speak louder than words, and science is catching up with the spiritual, and you can find more information about this. So what I'm going to invite you to do, is take the strategy I gave you, but build it on the backbone of your belief system that you are confident in sales. And I shared this affirmation on my social media yesterday, maybe, and I shared that. What if you could start believing that sales is the vehicle that delivers your product, service, and offers? So, see, by creating the concept of sales as a vehicle, you're already detached. There's no emotions. It's one step outside of you. There's a detachment that happens there. So if you consider that sales is just simply a vehicle, can you believe that? Can you start to digest that? Because that's where your ability comes from sales. It's, yes, having the knowledge, the skill sets, all of that, the persistency, the right attitude and understanding is rapport building, relationship building. But it's this belief in your ability and understanding that sales is sexy. It is not sleazy. Because here's the thing, over time, we've probably heard so many people say, oh, sales is sleazy. Oh, I suck at sales. Oh, don't be a used car salesman. No offense to used car salesmen. I'm just using the analogy here that I know we have all heard over the years. We've heard it enough that we actually adopted that as a belief. That's exactly what a belief is. It's repetitively hearing it, feeling it, saying it to ourselves. So it's becoming ingrained in your subconscious, which is actually running the show. 95% of everything that you believe, that you do, your behaviors, your emotions, sits in your subconscious mind, and it's running the show. And that's where affirmations sometimes don't work. Because maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, I write affirmations every day. I'm a successful salesperson. I make $100,000 a month. But do you believe any of that? I share all of this from intellect, but from my personal experience also. Because I was that spammy person. I'm sure you guys have heard my story. Like, oh my God. I would spammy. I would word vomit. I'd follow up too much. You know, that annoying follow up? That was me. And then I wondered what happened, right? Why were they ignoring me? Why did they block me? Why did they get nervous that I was coming around? Man, I would get nervous if I was coming around too, because I had become so obsessed in selling that I left my common sense behind and I became desperate. Or at least that's what my energy was saying. Like, oh, here comes, she's desperate. I don't want to talk to that. And you can feel it's palpable. I know you have felt it. It's probably happened to you, or you've probably done it to somebody. And that air of desperation completely disempowers you. You do not stand in your power. You do not come out confident, definitely not authentic, because it's a dissonance, right? Your belief, it's like, oh my God, I can't. But you're pretending, your affirmations over here is saying, I'm $100,000 a month salesperson. So how can you create resonance? How can you start to get into alignment, mind, body, energy, soul, business? So you've heard me already say affirmations, but I want you to think, when you think of affirmations, I don't want you to start off with this big, broad statement that I make $100,000 a month. Unless it's true for you, then hey, bravo, and then step it up. If it's not true for you and you know you've been this spammy salesperson who's scared of sales, dude, start slow. You rather start small and then build, right? Again, it's building a muscle. Just like you go to the gym, you don't start lifting 100 pounds. You probably started with 5. Same concept here. You build this sales muscle, and a great affirmation is, I'm getting better at sales every day. I'm getting better. And I know you're like, but that doesn't seem like it's enough. But did it land in your body when you heard me say it? So if you felt that, like, so when I say it landed, it's almost like a sigh of relief. Did you feel it? I'm getting better at sales every day. If that landed for you, write it down, because your body, your subconscious mind, your belief system can work with that. You want to take it another step? EFT, emotional freedom technique. Tap it in. Come on. I did it. I am walking, talking proof. It is working. EFT is, again, called emotional freedom technique, more commonly known as tapping. And you tap along the meridians, very akin to acupressure and acupuncture, but we're just using our hands, so more similar to acupressure. And we work along the meridians. If that's something that you're interested in, you can join my complimentary community, the Soul Confidential Lounge. I have so many tappings in there that you can use to start stepping into your confidence. And the fastest way to reprogram your belief system is hypnosis. Because through hypnosis, we bypass your critical mind. So you're the one that's thinking, that's only 5% of your mind and is actually the weakest part of your mind. We bypass that and we speak directly to your subconscious mind, reprogramming it. In other words, rewriting the belief. We introduce the new belief that, hey, I am getting better at sales. Hey, I've got this. We increase the positive belief, or we replace the old stuff with this new positive belief. I'm actually hosting a group hypnosis session on July 27th, where I'm going to be offering hypnotic sales confidence. I want to support you in becoming the best version of you authentically, stepping into your sales ability confidently to help you generate more revenue. I did it. This is something I did for myself, and I went from spammy, desperate salesperson to somebody who authentically, confidently stood in her power and was able to sell over $133,000 in net sales. I was an entrepreneur at that time, working for somebody else. So that's why I'm saying net sales. But guys, that's a lot of money. In under 36 hours. Did I mention that? I don't know if I said it. It's possible. And this is how I did it. I walked myself through these exact steps. So if you're interested in the group hypnosis session, and a group hypnosis session is more cost affordable, so it's only $47. It's got to be the easiest yes you will ever say, my opinion. It's only $47. You will get the replay, and it's on Zoom, but Zoom audio only. Everyone will come on, and it's $47 because I want to be able to give it, I want to have high volume. I want to be able to support a larger number of business owners. So you'll hop on Zoom audio from the comfort of your home. You could be in pajamas. It's awesome. You just need less than an hour of undisturbed time where we reprogram your thoughts, your belief system around sales so that it's working for you and not against you. So it's helping you stand confidently, authentically, energetically aligned in your ability. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, click the link below. It's only $47 and you will get the replay. The subconscious mind loves repetition. And so I would invite you, once you get the replay, listen to it every evening before you go to bed or first thing when you wake up. Those are like prime times to prime your mind. But listen to it whenever you can. I am so excited to be able to offer that to you. And if you feel like maybe that's not for you right now, no worries. Take the training that I've just given you and start implementing it. And again, if you're writing affirmations, start small. You're not starting at 100,000, just like you wouldn't go to a gym and start at 100 pounds. Bring it down. I'm getting better at sales every day. I'm becoming more and more confident in my sales ability. I am more confident. Start small. I hope this helped you. I'm sure this landed for many of you. I am really excited. I hope you join me on Hypnotic Sales for Hypnotic Sales Confidence. I know it's a game changer because it worked for me. And this is something I did several years ago and I do for myself often. And that's part of why I decided to become a licensed hypnotherapist. The power of the mind is amazing. But I'll save that conversation for a different day. Listen, I would love for you to subscribe and leave a review. And I'm looking forward to seeing you for Hypnotic Sales Confidence. Like always, I am wishing you a beautiful day. I'm Chaitali Desai, business and success mentor. And remember,